Om Vang me manasi pratishthitam mano me vachi pratishthitam avirabirma edhi vedasyama ani sthaha shrutam me ma prahasihi anena dhitena horatran Samdadhami ritam vadashyami satyam vadashyami tanmamavadhu tadvaktaramavadhu avadhu mam avadhu vaktaram avadhu vaktaram. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Abodhihotaya jathaya devan urdhvo agnih sumanav pratar asthat samidhasya rushat adarshi pajo mahandevas tamasonni ramochi. The priest of our oblation has awakened for sacrifice to the gods with right mentality in him. Strength stands up, exalted in our mornings. He is entirely kindled. A red flushing the mass of him is seen. A great Godhead has been delivered out of the darkness. We read this, yeah? We did. It's the vision of the awakening of the Godhead within the darkness of our existence. So, as we know, the Agni was the first avatar who descended, the immortal among mortals. Yeah? He descended into the darkness, and from there, the whole movement starts upward. He is awakening from within the darkness, from within the involvement. So the priest is awakened to perform the sacrifice to the gods. We spoke about this, to sacrifice the gods here. The flame stood up high in the morning, bearing the right thought. The flaming power of the kindled became visible. The great God was released from the darkness. It's a poetic imagery. It is a symbolic and poetic description of the spiritual experience, the awakening of the inner being out of the darkness of material consciousness or inconscient. At the dawn of our spiritual illumination, there is a dawn coming, approaching. You remember the first verse. She comes to him like the cow to the calf, to feed him, to feed the fire growing within. The mother comes from above or from the transcendental realm. She is dawning and he is growing immediately towards her, running towards her as a calf runs to his mother, to cow to feed and to get the milk support, the transcendental support of knowledge and bliss. Thus he is reaching the surface of our consciousness, ready to act, to invite the gods from above, from the light of the dawn into the material frame of the physical body for its transformation. So the dawn brings all the Godheads. She brings all the transcendental Adityas, yes, who can be now involved into the sacrifice. And this next verse is very beautiful. Look at this. Yadim ganasya rashanama jigach shuchir ankte shuchibhir gobhir agnih ad dakshina yujyate vajayanti uttanam urdhvo adhayat juhubhih. When he has uncoiled the long cord of his hosts. So Ganasya Rashana. Rashana is the cord, Ganasya of Gana, of his host, of his groups of energies, or beings which he is holding within himself. Ajigach, he brought to awareness. Basically, he awakened them, the long cord of his hosts within himself. Yeah? Shuchich, pure. Ankte, he shines. That's a Shuchibhich gobhich, with pure lights or rays. Agnich, Agni. Ad, from beyond, or from afar, from far away. Dakshina yujyate vajayanti. The Dakshina, one of the powers of the dawn, Aurobindo will give his note here. It's her name, Dakshina. The discernment, yujyate, is being used. Vajayanti, who is bestowing the plenitude. The discernment power which bestows the plenitude is used. Yeah? Aurobindo translates, for the goddess who discerns grows in plenitude and is yoked to her work, to her works. He exalted urdhvach. Yeah? She extended supine uttanam. He feeds on her. Adhayat, he suckles, yeah? Feeds on her with his flames of the offering. Juhubhich. Juhu is the flame of the offering. Later it is also the spoon which is offering the ghee into the fire. So with his flames of offerings, he suckles, or he feeds on her. Uttana, spread. She becomes spread all over. He urdvach, rising up. He is vertical, she is horizontal. He feeds on her with his flames of offering, growing on her. She is horizontal, so to say, support for his vertical growth, as it were. Now, I have a little bit different interpretation. Let us read it. It will add to it. When Agni has awakened a long succession of his hosts, having become pure, shines with his pure rays, then the discerning power of the dawn becomes yoked to his work. Now I'm adding his work, not her work, as Aurobindo says. I think I will explain this in a minute. Bestowing the plenitude upon him. It is on her who is now spread vast. He feeds, standing high with his flames, supported by the offerings. It is a description of the next stage of their relationship, of the dawn and the Agni as her son. When Agni has fully awakened and uncoiled all his powers and hosts, has become fully pure, shining with the pure radiances of the dawn. Now he is shining with her radiances, notice. Then she discerns and grows in plenitude. Discerns because he is the agent, that link to the inconscient, yeah, from where he is rising. He can bring her powers into the depth of the inconscient, as it were, and is yoked to her and now to his works also. So, for there is no difference anymore between her works and his works. They got mingled, as it were. He grows on her presence. He feeds on her light. He flames with her luminous gobhich, the shuchibhich gobhich agnich. He is ankte. He is purified with her flames, with her rays of light. She grows wide all over, and he stands high and feeds on her with his flames of offering. This picture explains the mentioning of the dawn approaching Agni to feed as cow the calf in the first verse. I have several verses here from Savitri which are so profound, explaining exactly this imagery. Let us look into it. And then we come back if we have something to say. Its shape of person and its ego face divested in this mortal travesty, like a clay troll kneaded into a god, new made in the image of the eternal guest. There is another verse from, we will read it in the future. It shall be caught to the breast of the white force, and flaming with a paradisial touch, in a rose fire of sweet spiritual grace. Notice the description of the flames of fire. In the red passion of its infinite change, quiver, awake, and shudder with ecstasy. As if reversing a deformation spell released from the black magic of the night, Tamasonira Mochi, renouncing servitude to the dim abyss, it shall learn at last who lived within unseen and seized with marvel in their adoring heart, to the enthroned child Godhead kneel aware, trembling with beauty and delight and love. Sri Aurobindo is, of course, adding the whole juice to the Veda. You can start after Sri Aurobindo's Savitri. I started to appreciate Veda, and or other way around. You can see that the same imagery is so profound. He gives a different kind of fulfillment to it, which is in our own language, and it makes that poetry shine again. You know, it's like it was like as if it was clogged or blocked or closed in symbolism, and now this symbolism is revealed, and you can reread and you will see this everything. You will see all those meanings now so easy, much easier than. And now look at this. But first, the spirit's ascent we must achieve. First, Agni has to rise. Abodhi Agni, Samidha Jananam. First this, before anything else can be achieved. Out of the chasm from which our nature rose, the soul must soar sovereign above the form, and climb to summits beyond mind's half-sleep. Our hearts we must inform with heavenly strength, surprise the animal with the occult God. Then, kindling the gold tongue of sacrifice, calling the powers of a bright hemisphere, the dawn, calling the powers of a bright hemisphere, she has to come to him as an answer to his call. We shall shed the discredit of our mortal state, make the abysm a road for heaven's descent, that descent of the dawn, acquaint our depths with the supernal ray that Shuchi Bhih Gobhi Agni, and cleave the darkness with the mystic fire. Urdhva, he is Urdhvah Adhayat Juhubhi. He is growing higher and higher, cleaving the darkness with the mystic fire. His soul breaks. Huh?
Yeah, the line above, there is a line which surprise the animal with occult God. I don't know. What does it mean?
Well, we are the animals, yes. We live the animal life. We eat, we multiply, we seek for the animal enjoyments, yes. And can you imagine, we just realized that within us there was a hidden occult divine which was waiting for its time to come forward. This is the surprise. The animal is surprised. What? Am I divine? Really? I thought I was only animal. Surprise the animal with occult divine. It's a very appropriate statement, no? Experiential in a way.
Yeah, very relatable.
Yeah, I can't hear you, Anuradha. You are muted.
I said the dog realizes that it is actually God.
This was the best joke. So kind of the last letter. And some people have this problem writing D and G, and many times instead of dog they write God and other way around. Yeah. This is funny. Dog realized that he is God. And God realized that he is a dog.
No, and the God descended into the dog.
Yeah.
When the dog realized it is God, then the God descended into the dog.
No, it's not bad that God realized that he is dog. It's not nothing of offensive, because God remains God anyhow. But to realize that you are still something else, some more, some other form, it's just additional delight. So
I mean, in a sense, it's the whole process of transformation of the integral yoga, no? That first you realize that you are God and then bring the God into the dog. I mean, it really is about that inward and back.
Yeah.
The divine dog Sarama then through intuition. I mean, one can go on playing with it.
Sarama is no problem to be a dog.
No, I think it's the intuition. I mean, it's really that intuitive being that has to manifest itself, and therefore,
yes.
you awaken the intuitive sense with it. And another thing that struck me is that, like this whole the suckling of the fire on, the dakshina and the force of discernment. If you have to look at it from psychology, so that Agni representing the illumined will, no, the will, the higher will in man, and that only can grow if it literally nurtures itself on discernment, buddhi. The willpower which is crude in the normal mind becomes illumined when it nurtures itself on the power of discernment. Very interesting. I was just looking at. I mean, I'm doing Ramayana in one of the classes, and in that class we were looking at buddhi. I'll just try and see if I can pick that out. Right, note of it, because a very interesting commentary on the concept of buddhi there, and it said buddhi is tattva jnana sadhanam, sattva pradhanam antahakaranam. Which means that it is tattva jnana sadhanam. The buddhi is that faculty in us that keeps us oriented. So it's the power of discernment. So you've got two things. Now, on what basis do you make your discernment? Unless there is a concept of shreyas, unless there's a concept of the truth, like where are you headed? If there are two paths, then which one would you take? So unless there is a compass that is leading us in the right path, or the rhythm, really, and that is a nurturing. That is, in terms, you have to literally suckle on it. It's not that it's not like you force feed yourself. It's not like that. There is an effort that you have to make to do it. It's not that it is done. So one has to nurture oneself on that consciously in order to then grow.
It's interesting if you analyze these words, tattva jnana sadhanam. Sadhana is actually from sadhayati, from causative sense of that which leads you to the goal. Yeah. Sadhana is the form of force or concentration or discipline or whatever means which are leading you to the goal. So the means which are leading you to the tattva jnana, to the self-realization of the essential. So self-realization of essential, what leads you there, that is their thing, tattva jnana sadhana. So if analyzing these words more from the grammatical point of view, it's
And then
quite...
it says Tattva Pradhanam Antahkaranam. Of all the Antahkaranam, this is the only one, the internal instruments, this is the only one that is Sattva Pradhanam, which means that it has a natural attunement with Sattva, with the alignments. No? In terms of vibration, Sattva is the most aligned at all levels.
Sattva pradhana, yes, main, yes.
Sattva Pradhana Antahkarana.
Antahkarana. Well, very complex ideas. You know, if you put these major words together, it's really the whole kind of topic. Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. So this Buddhi in the Ramayana, because Rama is described. I'm just telling the others. Rama is described as Buddhiman. So and there in that Buddhiman, one of the commentators elaborates on Buddhiman, and he's saying Tattva Sadhanam. Tattva, what was the sadhanam?
Tattva jnana sadhana.
Tattva jnana sadhanam, which means that which is the knower of the essence. It is an instrument for helping us know the essence. And the next part was Sattva Pradhana Antahkarana. Of the four internal instruments, which is Buddhi, Mana, Chitta, and Ahankara, it is the only one which is Sattva Pradhana. It is aligned with the truth of things.
Major truth, a major existent one. Yeah.
And Viveka, which is Dakshina, in a sense, discernment, is a faculty of Buddhi. So that will naturally nurture itself on Buddhi.
Yeah, when we speak it, yes, the Sankhyaik language, then Buddhi, yes, correct.
Okay.
Because before Sankhya there was another. Buddhi was something else. Yeah, Abodhi, it's not Buddhi. But not yet, but later, yes. We have different. We have Rochanas, we have Dyauh, Divaha, Tisra Divaha, we have Dyava Prithivi, we have all kind of things, but not Buddhi yet.
Interesting, no? That is very interesting. No, so we don't have Buddhi, but we have Dakshina.
Yeah, we have Dakshina, we have many things, very powerful things. We have Daksha, Dakshina, these are very used words. Yeah, we have also Prachetas, Vichetas, we have all kind of words, yeah, which are signifying all kinds of actions of consciousness. Vijnana, prajnana, ajnana, samjnana, all the words. Jnana is used, yeah. Veda, samvid, all kind of chetas, cheat, all these words are used, but not Buddhi yet.
Interesting, no? Buddhi also has come from Buddh, no? To have understood, but to have understood in the sense of it is a mind, it's not a top down. All these words are top down. Buddhi is a bottom up kind of a contribution, really. Buddhi is more of an evolutionary word, whereas the other ones are more of they're more involutionary.
Interesting, yeah, very interesting comment you make on this, yes, because Buddhi has this awakening. That's why Abodhi Agni. Agni is awakened from down up, yeah. Not from, nobody awakens from up down. This is very true. A very good comment. Yeah. Yeah. And that's why Buddhi is a part of Prakriti. Yeah? Prakriti is, it's her kind of creation. And here there are also a few more, and I will maybe we will stop here. His soul breaks out to join the oversoul. His life is oceaned with the super life. This to be oceaned, you know, this is from Varuna and Mitra. We will read these hymns later. He has drunk from the breasts of the mother of the worlds. This is Uttana Murdho Adhayat Juhubhi. A topless supernature fills his frame. Pratidhenum ivayati mushasam. She adopts his spirit's everlasting ground as the security of her changing world. She adopts his spirit. spirit's everlasting ground. Interesting, yes? And shapes the figure of her unborn mites. That is the dawn, she. Immortality she conceives herself in him. In the creature the unveiled creatrix works. Her face is seen through his face, her eyes through his eyes. Dakshina yujyate. They work together already. Then is revealed in man the overt divine. So when the call and the answer join into one being, and there is no more distinction who is calling and who is working, they are working together upon one, then is revealed in man the overt divine. I kind of find this very intuitively supportive of the Veda. Of course, it is not about these verses. I'm taking totally from different context, but I want to create that spiritual sense, of what it means that the dawn is coming to Agni and he is growing and feeding on her and she is doing her work through him. They joined, They joined the parties. They call from below of the divine, or from within the heart. The flame within the heart is calling the divine to come down from above. And this coming down from above is typical Sri Aurobindo's yoga, which you cannot find anywhere except only in the Veda, and only mainly in the Rig Veda. The Agni always goes up and calls for the descent. Great. We can stop here. This is a very full meaning of 3 verses. We just looked into 3 verses of the one hymn.
Just in the verse itself, what does the E represent? E? Yad E.
It is yes, it is emphatic particle. You can check me if you want it. There are many emphatic particles which are very specific to the Rig Veda only, even. Like im, u, all kind of, uti we have.
It's not to do with, it's not with E in the sense of direction or like indeed, but maybe emphatic.
It is also direction, because it's kind of yat im, and that indeed, let us say, that is, that what it is, yes? Or when is, it's when is. When indeed, indeed is a good word for im. I don't have the dictionary open. Wait a second. Im, Vedic, particle of affirmation or restriction of a period after the relative pronoun conjunction. Yat im, prepositions and particles. At im, uta, atra im, has also a sense now, in this moment. Idanim im. So emphasizing, it's just emphatic particle. It's easy to remember. Great. All right, shall we stop here for today?
So,
Astu. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaha Sarve Santo Niramayaha Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschid Dukkha Bhag Bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Hari Om. See you next time.